Join us on another adventure with Wild and Free Interior Alaska, where we explore life off-grid in remote Alaska, sharing our experiences either building in a challenging environment, hunting, fishing, trapping, and family time, just to name a few, and so many more adventures. What are we waiting for? Let's go! Welcome back to another episode of trying to finish this shed and beat the snow. Now, you're seeing this in October and you're like, hello, snow already falling here in Alaska in October. Yes, that is the case, but we are still the end of August. Sometimes life just gets in the way and we've had a lot of footage to show you, so here you're seeing it now, but it is the end of August and this will help bring it out to that time period where we're not able to make it out to the cabin because of that awkward amount of snow. And if you've been around for a little while, you know what I mean by that. So we left off with trying to build the door and get these cuts figured out. Well, the problem is the skill saw wasn't going to cut through that when it's vertical. So what do? We use the skill saw to set the cut to then follow it with the Sawzall. Or at least that was my idea. Let's see if it worked out.
Is that gonna mess it
Can
up?
you use the Sawzall and just cut it at one angle and then the other angle?
If Cameron's good enough with it. Yeah, you
Yeah,
could hold it up and
that-
down, you
that's
could go
the
down through it with a
Thing,
sawzall.
if you go straight, but if you're off, it's
Well.
a door for a shed. So,
Sawzall.
let me see if I have a wood blade for that.
No.
Oh, they have non-seen. I think I
I
might
know I've
have
got metal.
blades.
Battery. Battery.
Do you want me to go check? Or do you
Time's
just
up.
want to
Let's
send
do
it?
this.
Got 2 hours.
Look at that.
Do we want We'll make your initial cuts.
Shine together.
What is up with that?
Yeah.
Might be burning.
Yeah, let's see what it looks like.
You might be burning up your Sawzall.
That was the top piece, right?
Is it the Sawzall?
No, it's
smoking
this
or
thing's
just the wood?
smoking.
I know that was, but
Okay,
I
is
think
this
like-
this
I
one?
think it was the top.
It was this one. Oh no. I think it'll work.
I thought it was this one.
It doesn't matter if it fits.
Very-
Look at that.
it fits.
Where's the screws?
Well, let's.
The other one's there to cut, right?
Alright.
Shoo, are you sure
Holy
it's not
crap,
that?
how did that happen? After all that came out
It's
right.
definitely this. It needs to cool down a minute. It's
Well,
over
good thing
here.
we got cuts.
Do you want me to go look for a blade clipper?
I would. Big teeth it would have. I knew you weren't gonna wait for it.
Maybe if you get out on the end, it might be better. Maybe it should.
None of us are surprised that they didn't wait for me to come back with a new blade.
Well, we'll need one for the other door anyway. Is it hot?
Probably.
Yeah.
All purpose.
There we go.
So it's not a wood blade. It's the exact same one that is, but
Yeah, but
It's all
it's still got,
It's got sharp
it's got
teeth.
sharper teeth.
With a new blade that wasn't worn down, it cut much better and prevented the Sawzall from completely burning up. But the method did work, making the initial cuts with the skill saw and transitioning to the Sawzall.
Did it work better?
Make it fit.
See if it fits.
Oh, by a hair.
What if we switch out the two?
Yeah, try to switch the top and the bottom.
That's a good take.
Ooh, that
That's a
solves all.
tight fit on that one, but we can switch.
Alright.
Looks like the angle may be just a touch off on this one or something, but, oh, it's close. Oh, it's close.
Can you lift it up and then set it in? Yeah,
Where's the hammer?
right here, Kim.
You in?
Will be. See if this one fits here.
Oh, this angle's different. What is up with this?
You gotta turn it the other way. There you go.
Can you lift
Pick it up, Casey.
Yeah.
You gonna go? Where's that hammer?
There,
Here it is.
we're underneath of an edge. Oh, here it comes. This way, I think.
Hand fitted. Where's this door going?
I don't know if you need to put the screws in, but put the screws in.
It's going nowhere.
Using the combination of the saws, we were able to get the cross pieces cut and fit in there nice and snug so that the door had additional support. Now that we have one door built, we just need to repeat it and do it all over again. I mean, how hard can that be? Should be about the same, in theory, but let's see what happens. So right before I went back in to start cleaning up, they got started on the second door frame, and that's when I decided there wasn't really enough for me to do as far as multitasking due to the weather, and it really just seemed like mostly a one-person job figuring out the door itself as far as the siding being placed on it, cutting the cross beams, everything else. So I stayed with them for a little while to get started on building the frame, making sure that everything was placed at exactly the same distance. And once that was set, that's when I decided it was time to buzz out of there and be a little bit more productive and useful as far as cleaning up the cabin to get one step closer to being done. In theory, by the time that they were done building the doors, I would be cleaned up and we would be ready to leave. It's probably a good stopping point, especially due to the weather. It definitely wasn't improving as far as the rain and the wind, and we didn't really feel like getting that soaked. However, as the weather has it, it looks like we'll just continue doing all of the progress in the pouring rain anyways.
I felt like there wasn't enough multitasking going on out at the shed build. So I decided I would come in and start cleaning up and getting things ready to go. We've been in and out of this cabin so much to keep grabbing materials. It's been raining non-stop. The dogs are shedding, especially our new foster dog. Poor thing had really not been brushed in a very long time. So I say all that because it's kind of a mess and it needs some attention more than just like 5 minutes before we go. So they are working on building the door, and since it's kind of like I didn't really know how I could really contribute, because there's just a lot to figure out, and Cameron didn't want to simultaneously work on doing the trim work around the edges of the building because it's pouring rain. And he didn't want to stand in the rain and be directly underneath of the eaves where it's dripping off and working. So I don't think that we're going to get to the trim today, if I'm honest, and that's okay. But at least I'm in here being productive, doing something while they're still working out there, and we're one step closer to getting out of here. Right now it's 11:30. I doubt it'll be noon by the time we leave, but hopefully not like 5:30 or something like last time. It was just made for a very long evening and everything else before the work week comes on Monday again. But you gotta do what you gotta do because the season's short, the weather's crappy, and winter's not too far off.
It looks like they were busy and productive while I was gone, replicating the other door frame to match the one that's leaning against the wall, and then getting busy figuring out the doors. So the doors using the siding, we wanted it to overhang at the top and the bottom, primarily at the bottom to help keep any of the snow that was going to pile up against it out from sitting on the edge or icing up So in theory, we want it to overhang the siding of the door over top of the frame of the building so that we can just clear away the snow completely of that area, not have any ice snow building up in the little ledge of the frame where there'd typically be a gap, and then we'd be able to open it easier. In theory, that's at least what we were thinking. Now, is this going to be practical when we actually apply this out here? I'm not quite sure, but it sounded like a good idea. Now that the frames were built, they had to try to make that idea come to life and actually apply it and do some measuring and lots of debating to figure out what their cuts needed to be, because we also want to make sure that we are absolutely correct so we don't run out of the siding. Like I mentioned before, running out of materials when you are 2 hours from the nearest town and another hour to get from off-road back to the road, it's a chore just to get materials and get them back out there. So we really didn't want to mess this up. So after lots of debating, measuring, figuring out how to make this square, because our building is slightly not square, to then make all the adjustments and the funny cuts to that siding to go over top of that frame and still fit well in the opening and work with a little bit of an edge overhanging so that they close with no gap is also the idea behind it all. So let's see what they did. Essentially, they put the piece of siding over it and Cameron traced around it from underneath. They flipped it over, they trimmed off the excess, still accounting for a little lip so that when the doors close through the middle, they will overlap in theory if all works out, as well as the overhang at the bottom and a little bit at the top for the opening. We'll also have a trim piece at the top as well that's going to play into where the door opens and closes as well. And of course, being slightly not square, they had to make some minor adjustments to fit the door, which unfortunately you can't really see. I wasn't out there, so they weren't the best at moving the camera along with them. So I'll try to share with you kind of some what was happening behind the scenes. But they got it up there and they installed the hinges into the place that they thought it would open nice and well, especially leaving a gap for the frame at the bottom and the top to account for any shifting the building's going to undergo, so that hopefully all we're trimming down is the siding that's excess overhang and not the actual frame itself for future adjustments that need to be made. That is the goal. In a few, we'll check out everything from the outside so you can see what this looks like, but it must have worked well. So they took the other frame that we'd built, put the piece of siding on once again, this way making sure that the lines are going to line up perfectly with the correct orientation. That lip that's on the right side, they're trying to, I believe, leave for the middle. So they're going to be cutting off the excess on the left side that you see there. So they'll draw it, flip it, and then trim it, and then reinstall it, and that way where the siding is supposed to naturally overlap with that little lip, it will work out that way when the two doors come together. Look at you guys. It's quarter afternoon.
Is it?
Yeah, you guys got this door pretty much on, huh? Can't wait to see if they actually work.
Oh yeah, there's no guarantee on whether it's gonna work.
Okay.
It's not gonna work, Cassie, you're gonna hit.
Oh.
And they gotta do a little bit of tuning.
Oh, I see. Maybe. From the outside, you can see that they successfully got the two doors up, and that right there in the middle is the natural lip that I was talking about. So in theory, once they pull out that right side door, that will go on top of that lip and it should close smoothly, maybe. But it might require some trimming is what we're thinking. To install that hinge, he's going to figure out where the middle is with my dad's help from inside. It's not resting right on the ground, right? You have like a gap, the frame. You have something in there to make it have a gap.
Yeah. It'll put a piece of trim board across the top that will close when the doors close.
Oh, the trim will be on the door?
Yeah. Pretty slick, huh?
Ah. Ah. Are you putting trim over the hinges then?
Just inside the hinge, I think. It may not, or we could
Well,
notch it so it goes all up.
So the bottom and the top hinge were slightly installed just so we could test the door before going any further to make sure that it was going to swing well and see if things were hitting on each other and what adjustments might need to be made before installing all of the hinges, or if we were good to install the hinges and then make minor adjustments to the siding that overlaps if that is an issue. So let's find out how this works out and if these doors are going to be done soon.
Yeah, let's see if it
Oh, gotta move the ladder.
You don't want to do this.
It's close.
Close the new one first.
Is the 2x4 hitting or the trim? The siding.
I think at this point, maybe the 2x4s on the bottom are hitting, but I think the trim, this is the inside trim, right? I think it's hitting against here, down through here. This trim is hitting this, I think, and not letting it come through it.
Like maybe just a hair too long.
But it's hard to see from here. Do you guys see from that line?
Yeah, it's hitting it.
Yeah, so I think.
So you just gotta trim that just a hair.
Yeah.
And then you'll still have the lip and it'll still close.
Yep. I think we're good. I think if we take off.
Just a quarter inch.
Turn the door off to do that, are we?
No, Cameron's good. He can.
Okay.
Yeah,
We got
you
one
got
more
that.
Nice and easy, Cassie.
We've got one more hinge to put on.
Oh, that's right.
To install the middle hinge, my dad from the inside was using the 5-inch screw, poking it through the little edge where the middle of that support board is that you saw me line up at 40 inches so that my husband knew exactly where the middle was to place the hinge before installing it. So in theory, it would be on that board in the middle and level with each other. Did you measure last time
Measure.
where to put the middle one or just eyeballed it?
He sent us out a mark of where the middle was. Through there.
There's some 5 inches over in the Container in the back left.
As you can clearly tell, it was still raining pretty good. The rain never really let up, and everything, including us, are wet, but we are almost to the finish line as far as what we are going to be considering good for this step in the process before we attack it again on another weekend. Least but not last, though, they did try to get away without doing something that was really important that they said, don't let me forget. And sure enough, I didn't let them forget. So let's see what that was as soon as they get this door hinge wrapped up and I make their day.
Not a little problem.
Doors installed. Check. However, we did have to trim that little bit of the lip on that one door so that when they close, perfect like that, they were no longer bumping into each other. Still covers the gap though. They're a little too fast for me, so I was inside putting stuff away and charging batteries.
You're on camera, so don't
But at the end of the day,
Waiting for you.
as they were cleaning up, I said, what about the wood stove you all said that you were going to move? And we have taken out the fire bricks, so it is lighter this time.
We good?
Still heavy. We brought out our jet sled so that we can use some 3-man power to move it over, heave it up, and get it one step closer.
In the sled.
Uh,
Gonna take it out inside.
Might take the bottom of the sled out if we do that.
I
don't know.
would say
think?
it'd probably be easier to get a, you'd be
Easier
leaning,
to lift with the sled.
no,
Hey, do we have a couple of boards long enough to slide it right up and in?
those 2x6 maybe.
Yeah. One more time?
Now you gotta move your front over.
I'll push it up.
You want me to hold the wood? You got it.
Try it. Let's do
Push, push, push. Hey! You did it!
Oh, you got the bricks, right?
Yeah, I already brought him halfway.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Now wait a minute, we want to take this out now.
Yeah.
yeah. If you lift it, I can pull this out.
See how that heel works?
Eh.
Ready?
Pull, 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 pull.
Yep.
Down. Yay! There it
You
is.
put it in the corner and we'll watch.
Okay. Well, you go ahead. Trust me that I'll do it.
I mean, there you go.
Smack dab in the middle of the room.
Yeah. Woohoo! Look at that. Despite the constant rain, they got it done. I say they because I didn't really have a whole lot with the actual siding for the doors. So the bottom will be trimmed. We do want a little bit of an overhang there though. But we ran out of batteries. Yay! So that will wait, and then we'll add all the trim, pretty it all up, and that's that. But the doors do in fact work. They close nicely. We have latches, just not installing them yet in case there's some other adjustments we need to make. We'll add the trim. We'll close under here, and it should be ready for paint, which will probably be next year, if I'm honest. Looks pretty good from the back and side. I know you probably never see that part, but yeah, the front looks a little funny. However, like I've mentioned, it was strategic so that we can close in this half right here for our indoor shower. So, but we wanted an extra window were the light. On the next episode, hopefully we will finish getting this building looking a little bit more fine. We'll fine tune it by adding the trim, finishing cutting the doors so everything's level, finishing the back eaves, just doing all that exterior finishing work. And over the winter, we'll be showing you how we're going to complete the inside, or hopefully be able to complete the inside, provided we can get that wood stove also set up. But Alaska has its way with shipping things, so time will tell.
Thanks for joining us.
Give us a like and subscribe and follow for our next adventures on Wild and Free.
Interior Alaska.